Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
That's what Rajasthan did to the target that was set to them by Mumbai Indians. 179 they reach with more than an over to spare. Also plenty of wickets still in hand. 9 wickets at that, losing only one, Joss Butler, and in the end a well-deserved 100 for Yashasvi Jaiswal. One-sided game, not a thriller. Some of those that we witnessed recently. This is kind of like last night, GT versus PBKS.
Shane almost felt like you're talking about the KKR match.
That was
match was
afternoon.
definitely
Afternoon, yeah.
Last
But
night.
well specified, yeah.
Last night. But what this game has done is given us a lot of talking points, and all of those talking points we'll touch upon. Firstly, let's start with Mumbai Indians per se, the team. We discussed this before the game today, that yes, mathematically, even if they were to lose today's game, you'd argue that, they're still in with a chance, they'll beat this and get these many points, and this will happen, that will happen. As things stand right now, they are only on 6 points and have played 8 games. So, which means they have 6 games remaining, and winning all 6 games will give them 12 points, and 6 add to that will be 18. That should be very comfortable if you were to win all 6 games. However, considering the form that they've shown now, unlikely that they win all 6. I know they've done it in the past. 5 games, 16 points, still an outside chance. 4 wins, 14 points. Mathematically, some may say still a chance, but I think that is, really clutching onto straws. I don't think that is going to happen. If you were to lose 2 out of your remaining 6 games, you can forget about it. Kiss playoffs goodbye. But the question now is, forget what it comes down to. Assuming that you need to be safe, and let's say a minimum of 16 is needed, it could be 18 also, but let's say a minimum of 16 is needed, which means that they're going to need to win 5 of the remaining 6 games. 5 of the remaining 6 games. And my question now to my fellow panelists is, do you see this Mumbai team winning 5 of 6?
See, out of these 2 games, I do see them winning pretty easily because they have 2 matches against KKR. Much as
KKR are in form.
Doesn't matter. We can be in
in
great form, but we end up bottling it against MI. What KKR fans or what RCB fans feel when they come up against KKR or CSK, KKR fans feel when we come up against MI.
Different season, different times, different beast of a team.
So, okay, 2 games, I'll give them 1. Other than that, are they winning 4 games more? I highly doubt.
Please show us the games
when he
that
said to
Mumbai
us, like
Indians
he's taking Delhi into account as well over there.
No.
I thought so, because he said it the other time.
See,
They are
actually, they
playing
could
Delhi
beat
first.
Delhi.
They are, I
See,
know.
the
Okay.
tricky.
Let's go form wise. Let's say Delhi, beatable. Okay?
Beatable.
LSG, tough.
Not that beatable.
Because much better than Mumbai Indians this season. Assuming they pull a rabbit out of the hat. Then come Kolkata Knight Riders.
Again,
assuming we going with Shane's prediction that, they KKR just bottle it against
Sunrisers.
Mumbai Indians. Sunrisers Hyderabad, they're not beating. Kolkata Knight Riders, again, I don't think they're beating them twice.
Not this time around. See,
And then Lucknow Super Giants, even if I give them 1 win, they're not beating them twice. Which means I do not see them winning at least 3 of the remaining 6 games. Which means at best, I see them finishing with 14 points, which is not going to be enough for them to qualify. Unless, Mumbai Indians does what Mumbai Indians do or have done in the past. Absolutely fantastic back end they tend to have after a disappointing first end of a tournament, but is that happening this time?
I have my doubts. There are certain things that's not clicking in this Mumbai side. In the past, we've seen, regardless of, let's say, the form of Rohit Sharma, which has consistently not been very inspirational. But even then, Rohit Sharma, the leader, gave you the assurance, and that's what, at the back of that leadership, given the atmosphere that he provided and everything that he would do in terms of using his batters and bowlers in a certain manner, that I think counted as a big factor why Mumbai Indians was always that resurgent side, despite poor starts. This time though, Rohit Sharma, the batter, is there, which you would say then makes them
there.
look
50-50 there.
it's
Some
much
games
better
has been
than
good.
the Rohit Sharma that we've seen in the last 8 seasons,
Yeah,
perhaps.
fair
He already has about 70% of the runs
But then
that
you're setting the benchmark really low because previous seasons
it's not me, it's the numbers. It's the numbers doing the talking right now. He managed all of 360 runs, I think, the whole of last year. He is in excess of 260, 270 at the moment. Must have, in fact, today though didn't add much. So yeah, but he's around the 270, 280 run mark. So Rohit Sharma, the batter, in many ways has not disappointed in comparison.
No, I'd say 50-50.
But what has changed? What's changed over here? I'm saying despite that, a Mumbai Indians, a CSK, without, let's say, Dhoni, let's say, giving those plenty or bucket full of runs until this season, Rohit Sharma until again this season, it's that leadership factor that would then take them into the semi-final or into the playoffs more often than not. This time that factor is also taken away. Rohit Sharma, the batter, may have done better than the last few years, but Rohit Sharma, the skipper, this franchise is missing. Hardik Pandya, the skipper, it's not working out. Changes they continue to make. The right 11 they still don't have. So all of that put together, they continue to still figure out a few things. Mohammad Nabi, you thought probably he would be going out. He's been underutilized, by the way. So in terms of all things that they've been trying so far, they still haven't probably nailed what that winning formula should be for them, and that's what's ailing them. Is there time for them to recover? Because the diagnosis for me is still not fully complete, I don't see them making a comeback, which is where I think all three of us are probably wrong, including Siddharth. We had them in the top 4. Now, I don't think any of us will be willing to put them in the top 4.
No, I don't think you can blame anybody for putting them into the top 4, simply because the kind of team that they had on paper. But as we've seen in the past,
now do we see
no, I'm getting to that, but simply because of the team that they had on paper, you would have gone with the Mumbai Indians in the top 4. I guess when you were assessing the team, you didn't realize that the captaincy transition, while you knew that there were going to be a few teething problems, you didn't realize that it's going to be as disastrous as it's turned out to be. That's not to say that Hardik is a bad captain or whatever. He's proven in the past, but it's the way or the manner in which the entire thing turned out. Nobody realized how the crowds would, even go against them, how tough Hardik would find to recover from there. I think all of those things put together, Mumbai are where they are. That's the first thing. Even now, I think the kind of squad that they assembled is not a squad that should be almost on the verge of finishing off their campaign in the middle of the season.
This should not be a squad level on points with Delhi Capitals, which is what they are.
Yeah, they are.
Which is what they are.
And could have been like first 2 games, 3 games, because you win some, lose some. But halfway stage, I know they've been in a position like that previously as well. But this, I'd have to agree with Harshit. The one reason that's not giving me a lot of hope for them to come up, I mean, the first and foremost is they are just chopping and changing, have no idea what their 11 is going to be like. That means that they are panicking. It is a short way of telling you. Previous times, also they would make change, but it would be a 1 or 2 change here and there. But pretty much that squad would carry on, and then slowly and gradually they would get into form. The other thing which is very interesting, and I guess that's what is making a huge difference. I don't know if you heard that entire podcast when Rohit Sharma spoke very recently with Adam Gilchrist. I think in that he was asked that why is it during his tenure, that they would start slow and then pick up steam later, and he tried to explain. And I think that may have been missing, and I guess leadership was one of the major reasons, because he gave insight. He said, it took me time to get players to perform their roles. And T20 cricket is all about people performing their roles. Right. So he's like, we would go into the team. We had, of course, few players who were outstanding, like Malinga and all, who I didn't need to tell anything. They would, whatever the ground, whatever the situation, Malinga knows what Malinga does. Maybe something like Jasprit Bumrah right now. You don't have to explain him the role. But he said there were few, to make an entire team, there used to be 4 or 5 players who I had to work with for them to get into the setup and exactly execute. He spoke about Michelle McClanahan and a few other bowlers that would come, and initially they would have different lengths. some of them he spoke about. I keep forgetting names, but he said, a lot of them would hit the deck bowlers and they would bowl. And I'd be like, you're playing in Wankhede, and because half your games would always be in your home ground. So if you sort issues in your home ground, you at least, guarantee yourself majority of wins there.
4-5 wins over there, yeah.
Majority, let's say if 7 you're playing, you're guessing, let me get 5 here. And then 2-3 I go and pick up outside. That used to be the thing, and a very clear-cut plan. And then he would say, so sort out your Wankhede. And he said, because I knew Wankhede so well, and this is where I'm coming to the difference. He said, because I grew up in that ground, right? From my childhood, kept playing there. I knew which side boundary, when, which bowler to put on what situation, what should the bowler do. So he's like, hit the deck bowlers, I would say, won't work here. Here, it's a batting paradise, but your only chance is if you pitch the ball up, because there'll be some sort of movement, your only chance is there. So, and that, he said 3-4 games later, 5 games later, my bowlers would figure out. Certain batters, I'd have to tell them which side to target in which situation, how the air comes, at what time of the evening. And when you're batting first, batting second, I'd spend time with them. And while they would try to implement, it wouldn't happen immediately. By the time they're playing third, fourth game, they would get into it, and which is why it used to be slow starters. Now, that's that one thing that's missing. I'm not again blaming, that's why I said Hardik has not become a bad captain overnight. He's the same guy who took Gujarat to a title, to a final. But I'm guessing that local know-how or the local understanding that Rohit Sharma had at one point, which he himself gave insights to, which helped his team go on and win titles, and from that, poor starts really chip in, may have been lacking that. Yeah. Secondly, as we've discussed it previous time, maybe Hardik, the captain, is not performing at the optimum level. I'm not talking about Hardik, the bowler and the batter. Hardik, the captain per se, who still continues to, play to the galleries, be the nice guy. We've seen it even today.
Today as well, yeah.
Yeah, and now, it's not even conjecture. It's not something that we picked up on Sports Today studios right from the start, where we were consistent with our criticism, saying that, listen, Hardik needs to forget about all that. I'll give you an example. Like, look at the shoddy fielding, right? There's a catch drop on Hardik Pandya's ball, and he's okay. He walks around. Sometimes he's fine when others have dropped a catch. Today, again, I know that they lost easily, but had they been better in their fielding, who knows? An outside chance could have come back into the game, because Rajasthan themselves came back much later into the game. Sandip Sharma, bowling those amazing overs. They could have poor fielding. What happens? He's there and thereabouts, not really stamping his authority. Go back to Hardik Pandya, the skipper in Gujarat Titans. Would he have taken this kind of fielding?
Not a chance.
Exactly. I think somewhere you have to exert your authority as captain. It's all good being a team man. Nobody is saying that he needs to be obnoxious, right? He needs to be, a team man, be friendly with his team, whatever thing. But as a leader, as a captain, when certain things are being done, and they're all professional cricketers, they're not even playing Sunday cricket where it chalta hai, or the cricket that we play sometime where we used to 4 drops. If it is happening at this stage, the Gujarat Titan Hardik Pandya would have given a earful. I can bet my bottom dollar he would have given. But that Hardik Pandya is not happening. And now, as I said, this we had said earlier, being too nice, that thing is not coming together. And I heard a lot of cricket. I heard a Robin Uthappa interview that day on social media, where he said the exact same thing. This is 2-3 days ago of what we've been saying for 2-3 weeks, where he said that he's feeling the pressure from outside. He's human. There's no way he cannot. And just to get off that pressure, he's trying to put on an image or a personality that's not really him, which is then not allowing him to focus on the game and what strategies to do and how to win the game or what quick decisions to take on the field, but rather how I'm coming across as a person and how. And so if that is the case, it's not going to change overnight. It's not a switch that I turn it off today and from tomorrow Hardik Pandya becomes a change man in the game. If this is how he's carried on for so far, with trying to please everyone, I'm sure it will continue for the rest of the season. And all that tells me, I don't think you needed a better sign than the sign today that you saw with Mumbai of the kind of fielding that they did. Listless bowling, listless fielding, and a chance where they could get 200 easily, not getting. I do not see this team now, even though I picked them in top 4, making it.
I picked them as champions. And I still say that this is, on paper, this is a team that should be performing so much better than they are. But the fact of the matter is they've just struggled.
But because you didn't account for Hardik's captaincy.
I don't think any of us could have accounted for the...
Well, look at this. Today was what? The 8th game. And today we said that this has now finally come close to the 11 that we formed a little over a month back in the studio. So it's taken them more than half their season to get to the 11, which should have been their 11 to begin with. In fact, even then, Nabi, I don't think started for us. And even now, I think Nabi isn't quite the most appropriate fit in this 11. Otherwise, most things right with that 11 that they fielded today. So it's taken them, half the season's gone, more than half the season's gone. There is no time now left because
No, don't be surprised. This team, if half the season is gone, let's say if they've zeroed in on 11, if they continue with this, still an outside chance. But I'm telling you what you've seen this season.
They'll
next
make 2
game,
changes.
2 changes, next game 3, then game after that. It's not going to happen. That's the thing.
And none of us accounted. And why? After the auction, we were all like, okay, now the set is done. Once Hardik was there, we knew that this is the perfect set of players that they need to be champions. Last year, you thought that, they didn't have the wherewithal. But after the addition of a Hardik Pandya, you were like, boss, they have everything set. Maybe just the one spinner, but that's just one weak link possibly that the side has. Otherwise, everything looks good. Madhwal, they didn't start. Somebody who showed so much promise last year. Vadera takes 7 games for a Nehal Vadera who showed a lot of promise last year. Doesn't start the season this time around.
Chawla starts, plays 1 or 2 games, doesn't have great performances, drop. Shreyas Gopal comes as an okayish thing, now drop. Back, just and that actually puts into perspective the fact, see how much their squad look so much better now, right? Go back to last season, there is no Hardik Pandya, there's a Jasprit Bumrah who's injured, no reinforcements that we see. That squad, that just tells you what Rohit Sharma, the captain, could do. He took that squad to the playoffs. Can you believe if Rohit Sharma, the captain, had this squad this season?
Rohit Sharma, the captain, took a squad that had Akash Madhwal being their main death bowler, Piyush Chawla being their lone spinner, and Cameron Green.
So I'm just going to add to that, Piyush Chawla, who most had given up on and thought that his time is done. Akash Madhwal, who now is an experienced guy, was a
novice back then.
Yeah, exactly. Bring on at that time.
Last time we were all doing stories on, who's Akash Madhwal,
what's
tennis player, does this, does that, bowls a good Yorker.
So that takes me back to that Rohit Sharma interview where when Hardik Pandya said that, Mumbai to creates play. It takes me back to the interview where he's quick to rebut that and say, we don't get big players. We make big players. We get young guys and we made them big, including a Hardik Pandya.
That was ironic of Hardik to say that.
Yeah, right? But now, he's bang on right. That is true. If he is the one who gave you a Nehal Vadera or a Akash Madhwal and kind of took them from nowhere, I would even look at Tilak Verma, from no one to Pakaya ready-made product this season.
For India.
Yeah, but I'm saying now for Mumbai Indians, if Rohit got you those, raw people, Pakaya, gave them to you this season, you should have built on that. Instead, what's happened? You actually killed their confidence. Now, they're not the same. And that's exactly how much leadership.
2 of the 3 players didn't even start and still had not played. All of them have, the players we're talking about, all of them still don't start together. Where was Madhwal?
No, in fact, this Mumbai series team, watching them this year, gives me very much 2022-23 KKR vibes. Why? Because they keep doing the same thing. We think, okay, this is what the 11 should look like.
How many openers did you try that?
Exactly. Yeah. At least here they're not chopping and changing the openers, but they're changing everyone else. The middle order has changed, the bowling lineups have changed, the spinners have changed. Come on.
I don't understand how 3 games back there was a Bumrah who bowled 1 over, then a Madhwal who bowled the second, then there was a Hardik who bowled the third, then a 4th bowler was bowled by another bowler. How does that happen? 4 different bowlers for the first 4 overs. How?
Now going back again, it's digressing a bit, but just on that captaincy thing. See, now I'm guessing even management will see this. I'm not saying that they'll regret the decision of appointing Hardik Pandya, and I don't think it should be down to that only. You can't have immediate results. Fine that they took a call, and I'm not blaming, everyone looks at it differently. There was going to be a time for change in leadership. We can agree and disagree whether this was the season, next season, that's also okay. They've decided, and I'm not even saying that now after this disastrous season you should just remove Hardik, continue. But my point is, see, now you look back in hindsight, what is the core of the issue? As we've discussed, the core is that captaincy is not working, right? And what is the reason for captaincy not working? Not Hardik, but because in the circumstances, the way it happened and the atmosphere that it created. Now going back, because that directly is now down to the management of how the thing has happened. I'm saying, again, now we have the benefit of the hindsight. Okay, you decided that Hardik is to come. What is the one way you could have done? You could have taken Rohit Sharma into confidence well in advance. Bring him on, bring him to the table, make him sit, make him understand. Don't spring a surprise on him also. Make him understand. Then it may not have happened immediately, maybe a few meetings, fine. But I'm sure if you had multiple meetings and you showed him a way, bring him on the same page as you. Once you do that, before even announcing the captain, you could have, once you got him into confidence on the same page, ask him to address a press conference where he comes and says that, listen, I have been going through a bit of a patchy form in the IPL, right? And now the T20 World Cup coming, I'm due to be captaining there. I really want to work on my batting so that I'm ready for the T20 World Cup, right? Anyway, we were planning to have a leadership change. Hardik is here, and we thought we'll do it a few years later. But like somewhat what Chennai did, and I'll get to that. But we've decided that, let's start from this season onwards, and I have full backing of Hardik. It would seem like that more than, Hardik being just taken out and just thrown out of that position. It would seem like it's a well thought out management decision where all parties were sitting together, they brainstormed, discussed, and eventually they agreed on a mutual sort of a solution that has gone down well with everyone. If you'd done it that way, all the booing wouldn't happen. Booing wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't have been awkward scenarios. Media wouldn't have speculated. There wouldn't be situation where you're seeing whether they're hugging each other or not, whether he's going for that, offside of the team to Alibag or not. None of that. I'm just saying none of that. It could have been done in that manner. And why I say, why I gave the Chennai example, even though Chennai were wrong to not allow Jadeja extended run, that is where they faltered. But the way they transitioned was perfect. That time and even now, where they make an announcement and this is how it is done. The captain has full backing, and it went around like that. It was given,
and the kind of statements that are coming now from the CSK camp that for a year now it was being communicated that Ruturaj is that person. He's been having these chats with the MS for a while now. The other thing though, while the proposition that you suggest, I think is the right way in an ideal world, let's say. But for somebody, and we're talking about Rohit Sharma, who's the Indian captain, would it have been easy for him to then accept this? But he'd be like, listen, I may have been out of form, but I'm still winning you titles. How does he buy into this theory?
You can see, that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't. And why I'm saying it, it's a very corporate culture like situation. It happens all the time in the corporate world. And since these teams are being run by one of the biggest business houses in the world, let alone, and I'm sure nobody knows how to handle these awkward situations, these big management type decisions better than them or people employed by them at that level. I'm sure that expertise can come in, and it does happen. See, I'll give you, there was nothing. You go back to the Virat Kohli thing, him leaving captaincy and the way in which all of that happened.
It came from him.
Yes, but see, if you see correct, because it came from him, there could have been various other reasons. And the controversy there was statements they didn't add up between the president and the captain. That was the issue. But the transition, even though Virat had been such a good captain, the transition wasn't questioned as much as the statement of who said what and who is right and who's trying to remove. And then that's why I'm saying that it wouldn't have been easy even for Virat to have transitioned. I don't know whether he transitioned because he was upset with what happened in India, but eventually he gave up the RCB captaincy, and I'm just looking at RCB. But there was no situation where the next captain came and that he was booed, because he came out and he said it, for whatever be the reason. It's not necessary that he came out and said that no, he wants to concentrate on his batting. It could very well have been that he was upset with what may have happened at the India level to have given up captain. But whatever the reason, you and I could speculate. But he did not antagonize the fans,
Fan base.
the cricketing universe in that sense. There was no looking closely as whether he and the new captain. There's no awkwardness. It did seem like that it is coming from him. So if you had created a narrative, and it's not that tough, a narrative of that it is Rohit who's insisting that this is the next guy in line and I want to concentrate on my batting and give him a chance. It could have been done. It does not take that much
Actually,
time.
it's interesting you mentioned that because it just took me back to another example, albeit one that didn't have these things, but Dinesh Karthik and Owen Morgan 2021.
Yeah.
7 games in, they had won 1 game.
Gautam Gambhir, Delhi Capitals.
We are
letting Shreyas Iyer, I think.
And that time, and in fact, these are 2 examples why I mentioned very different times. Gambhir won, he addressed a press conference himself.
Yes.
He called a press conference, and I remember, I think I just started working in the industry at that point. And the first thing everyone around me is saying is, oh, he's giving up the captaincy. I'm like, how do you know? He said, why else would he be calling a press conference? The form has been woeful. That's what he did. Similar case, albeit with different results with the KKR one as well, 2021. DK as a captain was failing miserably. His form was also off. So what did the franchise do? They made it seem, and again, this is where Nikhil mentions controlling the narrative. They said that Dinesh Karthik is relinquishing the captaincy and handing it over to Owen Morgan. That way, even though no one would have been really disappointed with the result because DK, the captain that day, was terrible, you nipped in the bud any potential, mutiny. It made it seem like everyone was on board with the decision. Morgan came. Of course, see again, that's what I'm saying, different circumstances there that it came mid-season, no fans around, this, that, but still, they did it.
And the biggest difference, that fans were kind of happy to see both those captains go because of their woeful form.
Because they were
whether it was Gautam or whether it was DK.
Correct.
In this case, fans weren't happy seeing.
Oh, not at all.
So that's the only difference. But yeah, you could have controlled it. There could have been a damage.
I think even let's say that if that presser hadn't happened, because it was, I still believe it would have been difficult for Rohit to accept because he would have been like, look at my report card, I still got you 2 titles in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
but eventually,
had that particular detail not come out, in which reports continue to suggest that there was a clause that he wanted captaincy, if that particular detail wasn't to be believed to the extent that it has been believed, maybe Hardik Pandya wouldn't have gotten the kind of wroth that he's gotten.
No, I don't think it would have
happened. It would have happened. The only thing they could have done is, as I said, to minimize damage, if get Rohit, and I'm saying, initially, if you tell him initially, maybe he would have taken it well, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm saying when these big corporate decisions are taken in the boardroom, let's say you're asking a CEO to step aside and you're getting a young guy to become CEO, and that CEO is now going to be, still given a big position, but will still be more of a, not an executive role, but more a mentor kind of a role. It's not easy. But, eventually you realize that it's either that which saves your face in the corporate world and all the reputation that you build, or it would reach a stage where they'll say that we've got rid of him and get someone. Eventually, there are things that happen, there are multiple meetings. As I said, won't have happened easily. Eventually, you can make everyone understand. Also, can I tell you, if you look at it from the person also, now, why does anyone get upset when certain things are done without, someone who's led you for so many titles, without consulting him, anything, you just take a decision by relying on a new coach. That's what I hear, the new coach and whatever decided that it's the thing. And he'll be like, this guy is just calm, I have a new title and you're going by what he said. That would have hurt him. As I said, if you made him sit and made him then realize that, no, we're taking this decision and you have to help us in taking this decision. Do you think this is the way? If you become a bit inclusive, I think it changes the way you look. May not be immediately, you go back home and maybe a few days later then you have another meeting, It kind of works out. I know it's all hindsight, it could have been done. Anyway, I want to spend time on the team that's won. That's Rajasthan Royals. Looking like a real deal. Mumbai, we've kind of agreed not going to make it. Rajasthan should be
all but there.
14 points. No, first team you could say.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Unless they have a horrendous mid-season slump.
They have how many games remaining? 6 games remaining?
6 games remaining. They have to win just 2 at most.
They'll have to do an Arsenal to not finish top.
2. I think 16 should be.
No, 2. If they win 2, then they're almost guaranteed a top 2 spot.
Yeah.
18 points.
Yeah.
18 points pretty much guarantees you a top 2 spot. So it's really in their hands.
They have been the best team without doubt in the tournament so far. Did you have them in your top 4?
I did not initially. I had them. In fact, actually, a lot of teams are proving us wrong. But RR, I think I had them in the 5th region. 5th, there were 2 teams I had tied. Incidentally, both those teams right now are 1st and 2nd in the table, respectively. So
But
this
did you
year,
have them in your top 4?
we did at Sports Today. I didn't initially. I thought the lack of a bowler or an all-rounder might not come back to haunt them.
I did too.
I did.
Okay, let's talk about the 2 stars today. For them, of course, Sandip Sharma. We've spoken about what an outstanding spell. I think he
Player
should
of the match
be,
as well. I think
he should be. He should be. Despite Yashasvi getting 100, clearly player of the match has got to be. If today Shivam is going to be helpful to us, but he's not. Today he's very busy. He's not had time to help us in the points table. He's not had time to help us in that. But yeah, player of the match had to be Sandeep. No doubt at all about it. Despite that, Yashasvi has got 100. But let's talk about the 2 batters because, as we said, they are going to be crucial for India going forward. Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Is he going to be crucial for India going forward?
I should be.
In this World Cup year? No. Not now. I think his.
You think he's not going?
I don't think he's going.
He's got to go, man.
he's not going.
No. I agree. I would want him there come what may.
We were the only ones
Flying the Yashasvi flag.
The world was forgetting about him with short-term memory. Nobody is remembering, and various other things were coming to the fore. We kept reminding people, yes, Yashasvi is going through a bad form, but don't forget what he brings to the table. He brings fearlessness. He brings attacking cricket. He brings all the shots in the book. He does not care about personal milestone. He brings that X factor. He's been in form in all other formats. So don't forget him. He was almost your 100% opener before the IPL started. Few games you should not forget. Now he's got 100.
Who are the 3 in your mind then?
I am not forgetting him. I am not forgetting him.
But you have forgotten.
I am
No,
not.
but who are the 3? Who
On this day today.
No, on this day, I'm great. He had a great knock.
I thought this probably would have been that because you had not forgotten him, and that if even there was an iota of doubt just creeping in, today would have been the day that wipes.
I have no doubts about him. At a personal level, zero, zilch, none.
He's going for you 15.
See, for me, he has to be there. Will he be there for the selectors? I don't think so.
Why?
Because if they've made the call to open with Rohit and Virat, then you
have they made the call?
No, I'm saying if, which is a lot of noises we're hearing. Let's be frank.
What is the latest noise you've heard on that?
From Saurav Ganguly himself.
What is Saurav?
He said that I believe
It's a suggestion.
Yeah, but come on, these suggestions, it's no smoke without fire. He's mentioned very clearly that and this is by the way one of the quotes he said that
we can show it, right? We can show that quote.
Said he didn't mention this to anyone, but he did say that I told the Indian team coach Rahul Dravid that India should play without any fear. Now tell me if he has enough of a window or enough of a line to tell him that. You're telling me Dravid would have no this thing whatsoever. I'm not saying he has to hear the suggestion, but I'm sure he would have heard it because this is on a public platform. Also,
what is his suggestion in exact words?
His suggestion was that both Rohit and
Saurav
Virat,
Ganguly, this is.
Yes, Saurav Ganguly's suggestion was that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli both must go to the T20 World Cup. Not only that, they must also both open.
And you think because he has a direct line with the coach, and he mentioned that he's had conversation, he would have.
See, he wouldn't have convinced, but of course, these conversations. Let's just say if he's putting it out in the open, he knows something we maybe don't. I think so.
See, I mean, one thing is for sure, and this is something that we've.
But did he also not say? Did he also not
on
say
Sports
that
Today.
Yashasvi is a special talent? You've got to back him.
So you can also say a lot of things there. But how do you fit in if you have Rohit and Virat opening?
No,
how do
he
you
can
fit
be
in?
a backup. No?
Gill goes out. I have a hard time believing that.
Who knows? I was
I have
seeing
a hard
a
time
couple of players pick their 15 where Gill was out.
No, I would keep it that way.
I think KF picked his or someone I saw.
No, if it comes to me, my personal 2 cents is that listen, you cannot make a World Cup 15 without Yashasvi Jaiswal. You can't make an 11 without Yashasvi Jaiswal. Rinku Singh comes in the same category. Is that going to be lived up though, that potential, that promise? I don't know. And maybe you can say it's the cynic in me, maybe because I don't really know where this team is going right now, but I think they're going to revert to type, and that's not a good sign. So yes, I would love that a Yashasvi starts come what may, because I've been saying it for him, I've said it for even a Jitesh, who by the way has played himself out of contention, But I also said that, listen, he was playing that difficult role, not an easy position. You cannot discard him just like that. He seems all but discarded.
I'm not a big fan of the Rohit Virat opening suggestion.
Same.
I'm not a big fan. I think Virat should be 3. I think that position suits him better because in your opening, and I think because Virat can play that anchor role, and people will be like, anchor, but Virat bats at 130, 40, 150 strike rate on occasion. But unfortunately, where T20 cricket is going, that's become an anchor.
130 is an anchor.
Or 150 also, kind of. But be that it may, that's not where I'm getting into. But I'm just saying he can control the innings, for a lack of a better word, right? So that's best done at number 3, not as an opener. As an opener, you have to take full advantage of power play and throw caution to the wind and attack. Now, Rohit Sharma may be getting runs or not getting runs, but you know that he's at least okay to adapt that approach.
Correct.
He is going for that, and he's captain. Now you have decided that argument whether he should be there or not, it's all done, thrown into the dustbin. He's there, he's going to play like that, and he'll attack. Fair enough. With him, you need a left-hander. Most teams would go with a left-hand, right-hand opening combination. You cannot go with 2 righties. You will have to go with a left-hander. You will again need a all-out attacking opener, which Yashasvi Jaiswal has shown you in T20 cricket at the international level, even at the IPL level.
Correct.
Okay, so he needs to go, and overall, he's now got enough experience playing international cricket, having played a lot of test matches to have done well. The only question mark, like today's inning, I think will help revive the memory. People have short memories, so anyone who's just forgotten about him, it's good that he's reminded them. Even though he's a regular part of India's T20 squad before this IPL, people have forgotten. This 100 should be a reminder. But I think one thing that may be debatable is today in the game, the phase against Coetzee, where he was absolutely breathing fire, there were moments where Yashasvi felt a bit uncomfortable. Let's be honest about it. He smacks Coetzee for a 6, post which the South African just turns on the heat. His speed goes up 6 to 10 kilometers right after that. He's breathing fire, bowling shot at the rib cage, and he's finding it tough. And it happened for a few deliveries. To those people, and I'm not one of those who would question Yash, to those people I'll say that, listen, Yashasvi Jaiswal was playing T20 before that. He can handle it, as he did even later. Anyone bowling 150 click on your ribs, on your body, any batsman will be troubled. But he has shown enough character in his test career, in his T20 career, in his IPL time, that he can handle pace at any level. He's not fazed by it. He doesn't get scared. There is no, visible weakness as such. I think he can attack. And by the way, he did show that he hit Bumrah for a 6. That's a rarity in itself towards that death.
Yeah.
So if he can do that, then I'm sure he can do to most other batters. So I will not have a lot of issues with it. Yes, people will point out that against genuine fast bowling test cricket in South Africa, he struggled. Fine. That's another thing that you can look at. But red ball, test match, South African conditions are different. You're going to US and Caribbean, where more often than not you're going to get flat batting tracks, where fast bowlers will have no assistance. At best, in drop-in pitches in the US, you might get those patchy double-paced wickets, maybe, but even that is not going to be a problem facing fast bowlers. Maybe spinners come into play. So there is no area as such for the T20 World Cup that I'd be worried about Yashasvi Jaiswal. So in my book, he should be part of that 50.
I'm just happy, and you mentioned West Indies. Those are conditions he made his debut in, and might as well add that he excelled in as well. Today, what it does to me, because he definitely for me stays as one of the 3 contenders for the opening 2 positions that you have, rather just the one, because Rohit obviously occupies the other slot. It just reaffirms his presence. It is a reminder to everyone. Yes, because everyone's been looking at over the last 1 month, there's one man who's taken the lead, and that is Shubman Gill, the one he is now competing with for that particular spot. But it's a reminder that the Indian team, for reasons good enough, had looked past Shubman Gill in the last T20 series that you played. Shubman Gill was dropped, and who was it? It was Yashasvi, who had then given company to Rohit Sharma, opening the innings for the Indian team. Like you said, he's got all the shots in the book. He is that new age cricketer who plays the way that you have to be playing T20 cricket. All those dismissals, and another reason, all those dismissals that you see as well that have happened prior to this particular knock. Yes, I think he was dismissed 6 times in the power play, but look at those dismissals all while playing attacking shots. So he has the right intent that you need in this format, that the situation demands. Runs weren't coming. Today, it's a good positive sign. What happened for Shubman Gill in that test series? Once he got that 80 odd, I think in Vizag, his tail was really up, and he then doubled it up with a century, and then his form really picked up in that series. Hopefully, this is that moment for Yashasvi Jaiswal, where his confidence gets restored today, and it's those runs that continue to flow again for him. A 600 plus run season last year, remember, he was the one who held the mantle for Rajasthan because Joss Butler had stopped firing after the first 2 matches. He's the one who really stood up. Hopefully, I'm hoping from an Indian perspective that this is the start of his good form. The lean patch hopefully is over today.
Even if it wasn't, I'm saying for the remaining IPL, whatever 2-3 games he'll have before team selection, I'm picking him. And hoping that he does fire in the West Indies. Also, why I'm going one step ahead, while Gill, outstanding on occasion, but you've seen the kind of role that he's playing right now for his team, has to be that guy who controls. And I think you've already got a player like that in Virat in the team who will start. I don't think you can afford the luxury of having another one like that, especially in the current scenario. So you'll have to go at all-out attacking batters, in which case Yashasvi, Rohit, Virat goes, these 3. Maybe backup, then if you want to take Gill goes as a backup opener. But this is what
I'm going to be starting regardless of the IPL. I start with exactly the opening pair you had in the last T20 series.
Which is the Afghanistan
series.
Yeah. See, Jaiswal for me personally, as I say, starts. What I was expressing previously was more what I see where team management is potentially heading. In that sense, I do feel a little deflated for the guy because again, the kind of run he's been on since 2022, I would say the second half of 2022, where again Butler's run started to dry up. He dragged them kicking and screaming to the final. Jaiswal, that 100 which he got, or not 100, it was a good knock. He had some couple of good knocks in 2022, took them to the final. Then of course last year, I think he was his breakthrough season, not only in white ball cricket, but he did well in Ranji Trophy cricket, in the Rani Trophy. He did well in the IPL, got a call up for the Indian team, did well there across whatever format the choice he was given.
But I think he's right. I mean, don't be surprised. We are very bullish about
Yashasvi, and we will stay.
But don't be surprised.
That's the thing. That's what deflates me, because it's such a sad thing that unfortunately a player this explosive is just being left out. I mean, on one hand, and see, this is where priorities are. You have a West Indies who are practically doing everything possible to get a Sunil Narine out of international retirement. Why? Because he gives you aggressive slogging starts, and we're leaving our aggressive slogger out, who is young and has the world at his feet.
Talking about slogging, Hardik Pandya has to do that job of slogging. He has to be batting there. That's the position that he'll get. He's not being able to slog. Today when he came, he should have taken the team to 200 plus. One other reason that they've lost, just could not get going.
At this point, the only thing that's slog about him is watching him bat, because it is a slog to watch that man bat. It's like, I'm trying to remember, this is the same Hardik Pandya. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, 2017, that Champions Trophy final, lost cause, went around tonking the Pakistan bowlers as if they were nobodies. This is that Hardik Pandya. This is the same Hardik Pandya who on IPL debut, and I remember it because it was against KKR, if my memory serves me right, came out relative unknown, bashing around KKR bowlers. And by the way, this was 2015. 2015, KKR were the defending champions. Was bashing their bowlers around like it was no one's business. How is this guy now unable to connect?
Yeah, he won, I remember, matches in South Africa, bilateral series.
Correct.
Yeah.
Completely situation, ODI matches, you're out.
Just power hitting.
Yeah, power. But see, maybe, this is what happens. Because there he came, he carried no reputation. He was fearless, young guy trying to make a mark, Taylor. Now your captain, future captain, was thinking of being captain for this T20 World Cup. Our vice captain, Mumbai Indians captain, IPL winning captain. Now there is a reputation to protect. Now you have to be there for long. There are runs to be scored, and that fearlessness just goes out.
And it's not just. I don't think it's just down to protecting a reputation. I think it's the way our cricketers are bred. After a point, you keep hearing those noises. Oh, you need to be more responsible. You need to take the team home. You need to bat more balls. Why? every other successful team in white ball cricket right now is telling their batters, listen boss, go out there and tonk. If you don't get out or if you don't get big runs, no problem, get quick runs. Particularly in T20s, that's the motto, quick runs, not big runs. I mean, now it's reaching a point where in Pakistan there's almost a civil war of sorts happening within the team, where on one hand the captain is coming out and saying that I don't think there was any slowdown, and then the vice captain or former vice captain in Shadab Khan is coming out and saying that you need impactful runs, not collective runs. Shadab is right. Incidentally, that's another team that can't catch. They dropped Mark Chapman 3 times in the same innings.
I know. They've lost to a C team.
It's a C/D team. Half their good players are playing the IPL.
Yeah.
But I know that, I was going through social media, a lot of people troll Pakistan, but I keep reminding, last 2 T20 World Cup,
they've done better than
you. And somehow or the other, this Pakistan team, not now, for years, they'll keep playing like this and
They'll
just
find
turn up into a tournament.
Some
and could do
Kudrat ka
anything.
nizam they'll find.
And they also, by the way, have the same problem. Their top order are all anchors, and then their lower order, you'll have the likes of your Iftikhar
Chachu.
You'll have, of course, what's his name?
Shadab,
Oh, what's
Nawaz.
that? Nawaz, thank you.
That was a decent bat.
Nawaz is a more than
Better-
decent bat.
better-
He took
better
that
bat
one match
than
away
before.
from you in the Asia Cup.
He's a better bat than he is a bowler. As a bowler, he's a little hit or miss, but as a bat, he's very decent. So those guys come hit runs.
Can
And
bowl a wide ball in the final over.
But I was asking for too much. A
Yeah.
spinner bowling last over. He's actually
He was bowling seam up.
medium. Yeah.
He was bowling seam up, poor
What
guy.
do you do? What do you
Not his fault. Also predictable. Fifth bowling option that which is what my fear is. Everything circles back to the Indian team, of course. But if you play, because there's a lot of chatter about Yashasvi, there's a lot of chatter about Rinku. If you want to fit both them together,
No, Rinku is in the same boat as Yashasvi. You can't forget him. Because he's not getting too many chances, a public memory. No, that's because that team is doing well, his batting is hardly coming, and for few occasions where it's come, he's been fantastic.
he's
Even
giving
now.
you 20 of 8, he's giving you,
He's incredible.
but he's batting at a strike rate of 300. But my point being that, listen, if you do that, you're also playing just 5 and you become readable. Simple as that. Then all your cards are there, that you can't hold anything again, to your chest. Then everything's out there. No trump
Jaiswal will be
card.
bowling 20th over then.
Or Hardik, as we've seen now in the IPL.
Maaf kar
19th
do, I'd
over.
rather have Jadeja bowl the 20th
19th
over.
Yes, you had something to show us, Shivam.
I think it's time for
Time
the
for-
daily meme watch.
The new segment that we have.
Shivam's Meme Watch, a new segment that he's created. Okay, this is Rajasthan Royals' own social media page where he says, "Are you not
They've
entertained?"
superimposed the players' faces onto the dancers. So you can see Yashasvi, Butler, Avesh,
So this is a
Sandeep.
line from a film or something? No.
Are you not entertained is a very...
General.
Yeah, it's I think it's a line I've heard from many places, but I don't know which film they've used. Siddharth Sharma.
But I agree, Rajasthan Royals, yes, we've been entertained. You've been fantastic this season, and I
Absolutely.
picked Rajasthan to be in my top 4 at the start.
Same.
They were a good team, so no. Polly versus Tim David comparison.
So Pollard is the clean chappal and David is,
Yeah.
that's a...
Yeah, but what Pollard did, incredible for Mumbai. It's not going to be easy for anyone to match up.
Exactly.
David will have a game or two, but Pollard did the dirty job, like coming in situation where hopeless, and he'd win your match.
And
Also
he'll
fielding.
start bowling as well.
And bowling those cutters sometime would
Yeah.
end up. Yeah. Okay. No Mumbai Indians match for 4 days. Finally, inner peace.
This is clearly a Mumbai Indian fan who's just tired of watching his
I
team.
feel them. I feel for them. I completely feel.
Absolutely.
Very well summed up.
It was like that. It was like that.
No denying. You're right.
Didn't
It's a very apt time to actually make this comparison when you remember that, again, they were dropping dollies against New Zealand. Their A team.
Yeah. That's why I said everything that can go wrong for Mumbai is going wrong for them.
This is Hilad Alana.
Hiladala, 14 point. Hiladala indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're sailing through. They're sailing through.
Absolutely.
Rajnikant would be proud. 100%. Is that all?
I don't know.
थोड़ा शांत क्या हो गया मेरा शोर भूल गया ah
Oh, valid point.
what a line good one yeah good one from the Rajasthan Royals good and reiterating exactly the point that we were also making हाँ भाई मैंने सुना है तुम T20 World Cup में किसी और को ले जा रहे थे absolutely
Message to the selectors.
yeah. No, maybe the selectors are on the same page
I
as,
hope so.
as us
I really hope so.
and are just not looking at a few IPL games.
Yeah.
Well played, star boy यशस्वी जायसवाल. आज आखिरी चांस है तेरे पास. रोहित शर्मा अच्छा. खेलूंगा भी वैसे. This is from that भाग मिल्खा भाग.
Yes.
एक तुम्हारे लाइफ की आखिरी रेस ना.
दौड़ूंगा भी वैसे. It's interesting because at the start of the match, somebody had this exact same thing to say in the cafeteria that I met.
अच्छा.
Exactly same.
No, it's not his account.
Exactly the same.
It's not his account that you've taken. Okay, let's take some swal. We've got some swals, please. Okie dokie.
I think this is
Let's get going.
Oh.
I love cornflakes is back.
I need what mutton biryani.
I love cornflakes is a chess fan also. Siddharth was telling me he was watching all the updates of
lovely.
Siddharth. Must have been eating cornflakes because it was breakfast time by the time the chess.
By the time the match ended?
got
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, at night, or then you should change your name to I love mutton biryani.
We already have one of those.
Or veg biryani if he's a vegetarian.
If you are one.
Paneer biryani. Whatever that is.
Katal biryani.
Kathal biryani. It's actually not biryani, it should be pulao.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a different debate altogether, friends.
No,
There is
biryani-
no debate.
There is no veg.
There is no
biryani.
debate.
There will be people
There
who
is
take
no such
offense.
thing called veg
There
biryani.
is
That's an
nothing called
oxymoron.
biryani. Yeah. It'll be a pulao. Similar, but just differently. हाँ, मन रखने के लिए.
Biryani bana do.
Acha, what is I love cornflakes saying?
Oh, a little tone deaf, but says that MI needs a few therapists from the looks of it.
Yeah,
They've taken a beating.
they have.
Rakesh Bhushan afterwards saying that Hardik Pandya was not bowling initially when Mumbai were losing. He said it's a tactical move. That one article is now making him bowl tactically at the wrong time. At a below par score, he should have got Bumrah and Kutse much earlier. Yeah.
But you know, again, today I know what you're saying, but today they were in a hopeless situation. Nothing's going to help them, and one of those rare days where Bumrah also wasn't as effective.
Absolutely.
So nothing's going to help them today.
Pitch was not going to help them anyway. They knew that underbatted. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Nikhil Shinde says, moment of silence for those who praised Hardik's appointment as captain. Not looking like a cricketing decision, is it? No, it was very much a cricketing decision.
Yeah,
Just one that backfired badly.
Yeah, because of the circumstances. I still repeat, as much as we've had a go at Hardik the captain, I don't think he's become a bad captain. Nobody becomes a bad captain overnight. It's just, you know, circumstances, some pressure, all of that, you know, and you have a phase that you find tough to get out of. Maybe he needs some time off, and that doesn't really augur well for the team because it's come at a time when the IPL is happening.
Absolutely.
Maybe you know, shuts everything. Next season comes along after a big break, or I don't know how Indian team performs and how he performs in India colours, whatever.
How the
Could be a
option
different
goes.
guy. Yeah.
So many variables.
Yep. Rakesh Bhushan.
Rakesh.
He says, I disagree with you on Hardik not bossing the team, which he was doing at GT. Reason in GT was he was performing as a player. A performing skipper is much more in command than a non-performing captain.
True, but there was no reason for him to be like that from the beginning, which it was. I mean, if let's say he started off on that note and because of his poor performance mid-season changed, that would be another matter. But he started off like that.
And
which
he stayed like
meant,
that.
Yeah, clearly meant that there were other factors and not his own form that dictated his behavior, which is clearly not him. See, had he been captaining for the first time, we would be like, oh, probably this is how he captains. But we've seen him, right? We've seen him captain India multiple occasions.
I mean, this guy lost
We've seen
his,
him captain GT.
this guy lost his rag over not being given a bottle of water on time.
Yeah.
He did not let...
Not to say that that's...
I'm not saying it's right behavior,
yeah,
but I'm
but-
just saying it shows you the personality. This is the same guy who, by the way, did not let Tilak Verma get to a maiden international half century because he banged a six off and finished the match. Which again, by the way, I will maintain I had zero problems with.
Yeah.
Milestones are overrated. But it shows you that that is Hardik Pandya. This isn't Hardik Pandya.
Yeah. Okay.
Rakesh once again saying that Butler and now Yashasvi Jaiswal have carried the team over the finishing line. Rohit and Virat Kohli at this stage of their cricketing career are not able to do that in T20s. When would we see a replica of a young team like 2007 World Cup? Selectors show some spine.
See, Rakesh, you know the team that's going to be there, barring a few players that we keep discussing, the wicket keeper and the opener, backup opener there. Majority of the team you know, right? You could say, see, there will be a Rohit, there will be a Virat, there will be a Hardik. all of that is going to be there. Then there will be there will be a Jadeja, there will be a Jasprit Bumrah. I'm just mentioning all these players are going to be there. Kuldeep Yadav. So pretty much know the team. Just a few players here and there. For you who want to see a young 2007 World Cup team, all of us thought that maybe this World Cup was that time, but now that ship has sailed. It's not happening. So when are you going to see a team next World Cup?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just go back, watch the 2000 T20 World Cup again.
7, you mean?
2007. You're not seeing that, I think, going forward.
You will see a young team.
You're laying down a marker over here, and it's not a good one.
You will see a young team.
But that's what we thought this time as well. You've not won the World Cup.
I'm putting it in writing. There will be, because see, again, you will not have a Rohit, Virat, and there will be no other players that we're talking about in contention. Like, let's say, I don't think a Sanju would be in contention at that time. Dinesh Karthik also's name would not come up. So I guess a youngish team would still go.
I hope so.
Yeah. Dinesh Karthik is still in the race.
Rohit wants to play the next World Cup also, the 50-over World Cup. Prior to that, there's a T20 World Cup which India will be hosting.
No, will not happen. I'm 100% sure. Sarthak Arya.
Yashasvi at 22 is so talented. He has so many competitors for the opening slot in the Indian cricket team, but the guy never changed his intent. So glad as an Indian cricket fan today.
Yes.
Bang on.
Well said.
He just has not changed his intent, and that's the operative part. That's why you need to, reward this. If you're not going to reward this, then everyone's going to...
Stat pad.
Yes. You have to reward.
There's no better way of saying it.
You have to reward fearlessness.
Yeah.
And not stat padding.
Manchester Rising says that shouldn't IPL happen months apart from the World Cup? It's a question, interestingly,
You are preaching to the converted, my friend. We've already converted to this idea many
But practical
years ago.
purposes,
But we know it's not going to happen. You're telling us, we completely agree with you. Completely agree. And a lot of people have said.
You want to have high hopes next year.
Yeah.
Because the Champions Trophy would have happened before the...
But there's also
IPL.
WTC.
But you can only have so many hopes.
WTC final once again. We'll again play Ashwin. Or not play Ashwin, depending on the circumstances.
So you choose then where you want to fit your hopes.
You blundered not playing him last time.
Yeah, you blundered not playing him last time, and you blundered playing him in 2021.
Yeah.
Agreed on both counts.
1 hour of cloud cover.
On that time, lots of cloud cover, and you still went. Satish Bay says that Salt Butler for England, Head Warner for Australia, openers in upcoming T20 World Cup. Actually, I think it may be Fraser McGurk who comes in place of Warner.
No,
but okay.
Warner just told him. He met David Warner today.
What is like?
He asked him, you going to throw your hat into the ring for the T20 World Cup? So he said, throw my hat into it. I'm there. I'm going to throw my hat into
Of course, we know he's there. But based on the form he's showing, anyway.
That interview is up or will be up?
It'll be up.
It will be up.
Openers in upcoming T20 World Cup, he's given some examples, and people are going gaga over Virat and Rohit. Forget this World Cup, I don't want to see ODI players in T20s. Oof.
You have a point, but again,
Point
as I
well
said,
taken.
you're preaching to the converted. We're all in agreement with you. It's not happening. Sridhar Sagarkar.
Yashasvi and Sanju surely slowed down for the milestone today. Yes, but the game was won.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Plus, they are one team who don't need to be worrying about net run rate. They have 14 points.
Yeah. No issue with that.
Yeah.
Pronit Datta, what better way to show his talent again, make 100 in front of the Indian captain. There is no T20 11 without Jaiswal. India needs a lefty at the top.
That also.
And upon hearing that, KL Rahul started
Absolutely.
batting left-handed.
Not Gill.
No, Rahul, no. Need a keeper, wicket keeper. Need a wrist spinner, he'll start bowling leggies.
You keep making fun. I was watching one of the program and Varun Aaron was an expert on TV. He was asked about it and he's picked KL Rahul as one of his.
He's not the
I
only
laugh
one.
now, I shall cry.
He's not the only one, because I've heard another expert back KL Rahul just because he's a class act.
Varun is retired.
Varun's retired.
Cannot play. He's retired. Mayank Madan. So annoying to see Hardik smiling when he loses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel sometimes you may be feeling however, but at least for the fan.
Be real.
Yeah. But I just feel it's slightly disrespectful for the fan, and a lot of fans don't take losses very well. I mean, I know it's their way of dealing with it, but the least you can do is not add to that misery by smiling. Just be indifferent. That's all right. Just go, because.
Or you could be like Sanju Samson. He said that I can't really respond right now because it's taking time for me to assess what's happened here.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Shubham Garg.
India needs to invest in all-rounders for 2026. Currently, Jadeja and Hardik Pandya are bigger liabilities in comparison to the Rohit Kohli jodi. Their batting powers are gone for T20. I mean, makes a point in a way.
Shubham, we discussed Hardik Pandya and why it's a worry that he needs to be that explosive guy.
Even Jadeja.
Yeah.
When was the last time Jadeja was explosive? No, I'll answer that question myself. Last 2 balls, 2023 IPL final. Other than that, I don't remember him being aggressive ever.
Yeah.
For a long time now.
Yeah. Vijay from the US says, spoiled by our movies, action and drama in the same movie, expect the same from cricketers as well. Aggressive and responsible. Doesn't work. Desperate and added pressure. That's a great analogy. It's a great analogy. I mean, unlike the movies in the West which follow a path, we need to have everything in our films, right?
Romance bhi hoga.
Romance, thoda comedy bhi dalo, thoda action bhi to chahiye. How can they
and there should be some emotion also.
Dance.
There has
to be some emotion also. Some obstacle for the hero to overcome.
We are like this only. You're right. This is an extension of our culture. What to do? What to do? Good point, Vijay.
Very good point.
Okay. Ashidhar says Ayman will now look for some other captain outside the franchise next season. Virat can come. Next level, Ashid. No, I don't.
Virat can come. The man has pledged his life to the franchise. Virat can come.
Freudianist Udit. If Rohit and Virat are in RCB, what will TNs do?
Implode.
No, they'll compete. No, who got more runs? Who's did what?
What they do with the Indian team now. So you know.
Of course. Nothing going to change, Udit. No, they won't be RCB.
RCB TNs.
Arey bhai, they play for the Indian team together, na, yet that both TNs fight. So the RCB also still continue. They won't care if RCB wins or loses, which will be losers most times. But they'll be more like, our guy has gotten run, the other one was selfish. Isne marwa diya, usne marwa diya.
If you have an opening pair of Rohit and Virat in the IPL, then you are bound to lose. Let's be frank.
Actually, Sridhar Deshpande has replied to it, saying they will do the same that they do when India play. One TN will trend selfish, the other one will trend selfish.
One will say Rohit Sharma is the GOAT, one Virat Kohli is the real GOAT. Rohit Sharma,
India bleep. This fight will happen.
And nowadays, because I don't know whether it's the new regime on this thing or whatever, but some very nasty trends come up and there's no language check whatsoever.
That to they say.
That's true anyway.
कुछ आप देंगे या घर जाए हम?
More variety.
हाँ, okay.
Mayank Madan said Hardik Pandya should beat Roy Keane or Sergio Ramos. He makes a good point.
Actually, don't beat
Take
Roy
that
Keane.
steeliness.
Actually, don't beat
Yeah.
Roy Keane will double foot him before he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
Same with Sergio Ramos. I agree.
Roy Keane, I remember I was reading Rio Ferdinand just talking about this one time that he just joined the club, and in one of the first few practice sessions, you know, he's there, there's Roy Keane in the midfield, there's Gary Neville to the left, there's Vidic alongside and whatnot, you know, and the first thing that he does that when the ball comes to him, he makes a sideway pass and not, you know, go for a difficult pass. He's like, he gave me a Liverpool that you're in Man United, there's no way you're just passing square, that's the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
How dare you do something like this?
You remember why Roy Keane left the club, right?
Yeah.
He had an interview on Manchester United TV that lambasted everyone that the club had to pull and then sack him. So
Good.
I mean,
I like it. Fitbong says, any outside chance of Sandip Sharma making into the T20 World Cup squad could be a handy option.
At this rate, anyone that performs well.
He was outstanding today, as he's been throughout this tournament. He was injured, so missed out on a few games, but before that also performed very well. But no.
No, then let's suggest Varun Chakravarti also. Or Harshad Rana. So it's really coming down to it.
Let's open with why Yashasvi Abhishek?
Abhishek Sharma.
Let's bring in Surya Sharma also. All the Sharmas.
But he's not playing.
All the Sharma, then you'll have to have Rohit Sharma.
Sharma ji ka beta captaining.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much. We've gone on for more than an hour. You know, it was another game which has pushed Rajasthan higher and higher. Mumbai
Low and lower.
low and low. Doesn't look really good for them. But yeah, today was a very busy day. So many things happened, and we have multiple videos up on chess, on cricket, on lots of news, interview with the man of the moment, Gukesh. Check that out as well on Sports Today, and do check out all the other videos around chess, because we tried to explain why it is such. If you're feeling a bit low about all India's chances, as we've been discussing, a bit morose and that in our discussion, you want to feel nice, happy about India, Indian sport, go check out all the chess videos, because it's an incredible achievement what Gukesh has achieved. Why in the last 5, 7 or maybe 10 years, where we've come so close to winning things but not in cricket and various other things. I think this is one of those rare success stories where you've really won a big title. And the other one, Thomas Cup, where you won the men's team, was the other one that comes to my mind. The last few years, Neeraj Chopra maybe.
Yeah.
So it's at par with that. To check that out, enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Have a good night's sleep if you're upset about what's happening in the world of cricket by watching that.
And get your spirits up.
Yeah. Take care. Bye bye. Anything? Speak now or forever hold your silence.
Vanakkam, Nandri, Shubhratri, Shabha
Shabba
Khair.
khair.
Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother. Bye bye.
Bye bye.